Today is all about saving money whenever we're buying those car parts, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to the garage, and as always I want to start by thanking the new subscribers and the new patrons and everybody that is sharing the link out there. Literally tuning101.com brings you right to our YouTube homepage. Makes it easy to share this information, and keep an eye on the tuning playlist. There's going to be some content coming out here soon. And as always, you can go to goatropegarage.com. You can get access to things like the Patreon, where you can get one-on-one tuning assistance, or you can even do an email tune. We're offering a couple for a limited time only through our website. That being said, today is about saving money. And if you're like me, you end up going out and buying parts all the time. And if you don't pay attention, you can end up overpaying. Well, I am going to share some of the things I have found along the ways. And hopefully, if you have some tips that I don't touch on here, you'll take the time, hit up the description or the comments down below and let everybody know, hey, here's what I found that works for saving money whenever it comes to buying car parts. And I'm talking about buying online, buying locally. You know, I have an Advance right down the road. You might have an O'Reilly's, a Napa, things like that. So let's get down to it. Okay, whenever it comes to shopping online, you hear a lot of people talk about the Honey app. I'm not pushing that here. I do have it, I run it, I use it. I don't find deals with it that often. But what I've found is if I am buying something from my local parts distributor, if I go to their website before I actually buy it and buy it on the website, there's always a coupon code. And as an example, I've got Advanced, Napa, and O'Reilly's pulled up right now. You can see right now, Advanced has 20% off of orders. So if you go online, get everything that you want, add it to the cart, and then use this coupon code, you could save 20%. And then about 15 minutes later, they will email you saying it's ready to be picked up. You drive down to your local auto parts store, pick up the same stuff that you were going to go get in person, but for 20% off. If we look at some of the other places, same ordeal. It's 10% off at Napa. O'Reilly's has 20% off of $100 or more. All of this stuff is already built into it. Now, there is a downside. You do have to buy it online and then go pick it up in person or have it shipped. I know a lot of us have gotten into the habit of, I just want to be able to go down there, walk through, grab what I need, go up and pay. But for 20% savings, it is worth taking the time, plan it out beforehand, get everything on your list, load it up, and then you can go down there, do the walkthrough, see if there's anything you need to grab, knowing that you've already paid for the rest of it at that 20% off discount. Saves me a ton of money. In fact, at the end of the day, if I'm working on the project, I'll make a list of the different things that I'm needing to get to move forward with the project, and I will then go ahead that night, place the order, and it's ready by 7:30 the next morning for me to pick up. We rocking and rolling, we're getting out there and we're going. So that is my first tip, is to check the online website specifically for your local parts dealer. Now let's talk about online shopping. One of the things that I love the most is GM Parts Direct. And I don't buy from this website, but I use this website to verify part numbers. So say we are working on our 2006 Cadillac XLR. We can come in here, punch all this information in, and we're going to say that we're on the base. And say we need to find an injector. If I type in injector, here is our part number. I will copy this part number, and then I will go and search some other places. Now, the big ones have always been Amazon.com and eBay. But you got to be wary on eBay, because sometimes if you punch this part number in, you're going to get stuff from China, and it's going to take 3 weeks or more. Not to say there's anything wrong, because a lot of these parts are made in China anyways. Just make sure they're not shipping out of China. So here we've got this sensor for this injector for $58.12. Let's see what we can do it on eBay. And here's a set of them for $66. And then the last place I like to check, that I always tend to find my deals, is on Google itself. If you just Google search, go over to the shopping tab, you might find it's going to show you eBay prices, but on top of it, every once in a while, you will find somebody that has this that's going to sell it for dirt cheap. There's a whole fuel rail for $80 used. That's not bad. A great example of this the other day, I was looking for a specific harness connector. I'd found it on the parts diagram, looked up the part number. It came up on GM Parts Direct for $64 for one. Then I went over to Amazon, searched it, found it on there for $35. Went to eBay, searched it, found it over there for $36. So I was needing 4 of these connectors. Suddenly you're at $120 even on the cheap ones. I went to Google, searched it, found a place that had them on clearance closeout for $3.50 each. So I spent $12 to get 4 of these instead of spending $120. The impact on that is astronomical. And I find that is an issue a lot whenever I'm looking specifically for like different connectors. Right now I'm going through finding all the different connectors that I need to for Project Country Club so I can start doing harness swaps and things like that for future upgrades. Well, if you go out and you're looking specifically for that one GM part number, you might find a link that'll take you to what the base part number is from something like Delphi, and you can use that to then find the same connector that's not associated with GM for a fraction of the price. So go ahead and go a couple layers deeper whenever you start searching for parts so you can find these alternate part numbers. Literally what they're doing is they are buying these connectors from Delphi and then they are branding them as AC Delco sometimes and they are marking them up by double. Well, you can still find a lot of these connectors from Chinese made manufacturers for pennies on the dollar. Just do your research. Same ordeal, you've heard me talk about Mouser in the past. They're great for connectors and specifically terminals because they're going to have about every terminal out there that you want. Whenever you're looking for things like that, make sure that you do an overarching search for the part number, maybe delete 1 or 2 numbers off the backside, see what comes up, and see if they come in different quantities at different discounts. Because if you jump in there, a lot of times it may say that you have to buy 1,000 of something for $130. If you dig a little bit deeper, you can find them individual for, 2-3 cents a piece. So that being said, these are just a couple of my big tips that have saved me money over the past couple weeks whenever I'm going out shopping for things, looking for discounts. And of course, as I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with running that Honey app in there. I clicked that button at the end of it. I think it saved me twice out of the hundreds of transactions I've had in the last year. So everybody that goes out there and blows smoke up your backside and says that this thing's the end all be all, it really isn't. But that being said, a little due diligence on your part can save you anywhere from 10% to 90% off of any purchase that you're going to make out there. So hey, this was a quick video, but let's be honest, this was an important video because we're all out buying these parts up left and right, and a lot of times we're not doing our due diligence to make sure that we are getting the best deal out there. We have all of the tools ready at hand, and as I said, I have made the mistake of thinking, oh, I'm just going to run down to Advance and just grab everything that I need, until the one time that I did, and I was like, man, there is almost always a 20% off coupon available. Why would I not be saving 20% off? That is $20 for every 100 that I spend, and there's seldom that I get out of there without spending $100. But that all being said, I'm super excited to hear what are some of your tips. Post them down in the comments, please. Let's share this information. Let's save everybody money. And in the long run, the more money that we save, the more money that we can spend on modifications. Listen, I want to thank everybody as always for stopping by the garage, all the support, everything. You guys are the greatest. I'm going to get back into it here and get my hands dirty. So remember, ABT, always be tuning.